back. Another episode of Showing Love Regardless. With my co-host.
J. Alf, what up?
What up? Your boy Doc, loving it.
How the week going, man?
Week's good, man. Week's good. You know, we're getting great weather. It's that time of the season out here in LA. I'm definitely making sure that we appreciate these high temperatures.
I got Karmelo back. Shout out to Ari. Car back on the road. Not on my
it.
feet anymore, you know.
My boy's getting back
and
out.
I'm about to go to New York. You know, I'm about to fly out tomorrow morning.
Taking that trip, trying to get
go to
a regenerated place. That's what you want to do, right?
Well, before we even start talking, you know. Oh, damn.
Sometimes things just.
We gotta, you know. It's 5, you know, we 5 episodes in.
Woo!
We gotta play that, you know. This is probably the best theme song I like, you know. This game. But before we start, let's stop that. We're gonna pour some out for Famous, man. We're gonna pour some out for Famous.
Not my boy Famous! Not my fucking boy Famous.
Man. R.I.P. to Famous, man.
Damn.
Puerto Rican Famous is gone.
I thought Famous was gonna last a while, man. It hurts my heart.
I mean,
I thought they was gonna figure out a way to try to get him.
I think something has to be going beyond. Like, why would they kill him off camera? Unless there's more going on we don't see in the next few episodes. But I mean, I feel like this season kind of slow. But shout out to Sean Penn. I mean, what's his name? Sasha Penn, the writer of the show. I feel like he does a great job of telling the story and
absolutely
showing how these characters change with every instance that happens. Every like you can see Kanan changing. He loses his best friend.
Yeah,
he's gonna be a fucking animal now.
He is definitely changing.
I feel like this season. I know some people are mad it's like that much action, but it's like a slow burn. Yeah. It's like it reminds me of the first season. Like it's taking some time, but I feel like the next few episodes are gonna be crazy.
Well, honestly, if I had to choose, they were definitely one of the better ones outside of Force. You know.
Yeah, it's the best one. It's way better than all Ghosts, all of that stuff.
It's better than BMF. Yeah. I'm sorry.
BMF had 2 seasons, and after that, third season was cool. Now, I mean, third season was terrible. I didn't even finish it,
but on a more serious, slightly more serious note, I was trying to talk to some people this week about what's been going on with me and my Diddy case. No. Jokes aside, that's how it sounds now. We're getting every week. We're getting more Diddy cases. And
I tell you, there's no more shame. Nobody cares about shame anymore. They're gonna tell you they got touched, they did this, anything to get some bread.
And it's crazy because now it's getting to the point where, is anyone serious?
Who could you believe?
Exactly. Who could you believe at this point?
Right.
And again, no disrespect to people who've been down that road.
I mean, Free Diddy. I feel like I gotta say Free Diddy. They playing Diddy right now.
And
he does it wrong, but I feel like now they OD.
There's definitely some questionable acts taking place there. Again, apologizing to anyone who's ever actually dealt with that. But when you frame something to essentially come off a different way versus what's actually taking place, it's kind of putting you in a position for them to basically say they can do whatever they want and frame it however they want.
Yeah.
And, to all the people involved.
It's Me Too 2.0.
Exactly. It's Me Too 2.0, right? Everybody involved, though, hold your head and make sure you handle everything accordingly. But
we against domestic abuse.
Absolutely.
We're against all of that. But
don't any of that.
If you lying about it, I feel like you should. I feel like they should register. They should register people that lie about that shit too. They should not grape. They should. I feel like they have a list of people that are on the sex offender list. I feel like they should make a list for people that false accuse people as well.
So,
because you could mess up somebody's whole life like that.
I'm glad you actually brought that up. There was actually this most recent episode where there was a situation. I can't recall it down to the T. But I understand that some father was dealing with some issue with the daughter of his the mother of his kids, and essentially he paid taking care of the kids, and essentially what happened was it wasn't his kid, and the issue that she lied about essentially got him in trouble, and he went to jail for like some odd period of time, had to pay a certain amount of money, and then fast forward. He was not at fault for the incident. and they found out she was lying. So what they did was they said, hey, we put him in that position. We put him in jail. And now we're going to turn around and put you in jail. So they essentially put her in jail for a little more time than when he originally was in, and made her pay the fine, which is crazy. Like, I think you're right. We do need to hold people accountable for some of these.
They want everybody to be equal. We might as well make everything equal.
Hey, listen, tell me what y'all think, because I feel like there's a lot of these incidents that take place where, and we're not just pointing out, these kind of relationships when it comes to, men and women, or, or
parental. It can be men and men.
It can be men and women. You guys commit to a kid, you guys separate, now you got a foster kid, and now, one kid's paying, and then one other parent's getting, hit in the head with child support. There's so many different dynamics that you really need to, like, kind of think about how it affects the other person's life. One person shouldn't be, fully liable for, situations like this. And if you find or deem this other person not right, or they went about it, unjustly, then I feel like, yeah, they should.
Yeah, it should be a equal playing field. You can't be accusing people of shit, that didn't happen and not get no repercussions from it.
Absolutely. I think there's definitely, and now I know that from my understanding there's a new change in the law as far as if you're paying child support, now you can file for, taxes for that kid or the kid that you're paying child support for. And I've been noticing a lot of, parents or, other spouses are not happy with that, because it's like they've been getting the actual funds.
You know what it is? It's like people want equality until it's time. It's 100%, because people want equality, but just to be matched up with. Like, if you take women they want equality, but they still want the double standards that benefit them.
Yeah.
Like, they want that to stay there, but they want the other stuff that doesn't benefit them to be equal. Same thing with men too. Like,
so it's like having your cake and eating it too. Yeah. So nobody wants to eat cake after somebody else, right? Yeah. You kind of want to get two of the.
But yeah, I guess we could get into it now. Right?
Yeah, no doubt, definitely.
We're getting off a little bit.
So, we got one of the, a very tough issue we got to deal with as far as this young man.
Karmelo.
Yes, young man got arrested for unaliving another young man during an actual sporting event.
I know. Once I seen it, I knew people were going to turn into a race war.
It's unfortunate. It was just a territorial matter. We don't know who the aggressor was.
And I feel like people are just making up stories, and we weren't there.
But just everything about the situation is nuts.
I feel like it's just wrong. Even if the dude touched him, you can't be stabbing. Like, you could have just fought him. Like, what's the point of stabbing him?
Yeah, exactly. Who stabbed? What kid stabs another kid?
Yeah, because he touched him. As a form of
self-defense at a big event like that. And again,
I could play the
one plugin that I want to showcase here is this guy. It's called the God Particle. The only things you really have.
The Frisco Memorial High School community gathered tonight in grief after the stabbing death of a teenager at a track meet.
Another teenager, a student at Frisco Centennial, is now charged with the murder. 17-year-old Austin Metcalf's twin brother was at the track with him. His family says he died in his brother's arms. Fox News' Amelia Jones spoke with the victim's father and is live in Frisco tonight. Amelia.
Steve, Heather, 17-year-old Austin Metcalf had a bright.
Let's go with the dad, because I feel like he's going to take care of it.
Add this post.
First-degree murder charges. And Jeff,
I was just so
now kids are free.
I told him it's not goodbye. It's see you later. I'll join you at some point too, son. You just beat me to the place.
I feel like we could do that race war, but you hear the dad talking, like, that shit's sad as fuck.
You know what it is? It's that
like both. One lost their life and one's life is done. Like,
yeah, essentially one's life is the other kid. The kid to defend himself. From what
I don't know.
So from what I understand, the kid who got stabbed was the aggressor. He had a twin brother, and they both were like intimidated.
That's I mean, we don't even know that story. They said that he told him I basically told him to leave the tent. They were at a track meet, and he went to a tent that was not his school. They told him to leave. I heard as soon as the guy touched him, he's like, "Yo, don't touch me, or I'll." Touch me and you'll see, or something like that. Well, according to and then he pulls out a knife, stabs, and then runs. And then when the cops get him, he was like, did he die? Like, he was worried that anything happened to him. I'm like, if you stabbing somebody, why you gotta track me with a knife? And why are you stabbing Like you could fight the dude, like, or there's so much content. There's no way you're getting jumped. There's no way you're getting something's happened to you where tracking.
Well, we don't know that. We don't know.
Yeah,
that.
we don't know.
We don't know that. So we can't make any unjust claims about that because there's a lot of variables to play into it. And mind you, where they were at was like in the Midwest, right? Somewhere in the Midwest.
I think it was Texas.
So it was Texas. Like in Texas, they're very open about having stuff to protect themselves, whether it's a gun or some form of weapon. But again, we don't know what happened there. But again, like you said, we lost a life and we essentially lost another because
we lost 2 lives basically.
We lost 2 lives, and and then you got one of them was a twin. So
yeah,
crazy.
Imagine holding your brother like your brother dying in your arms. That's crazy.
Yeah.
I feel like people are just. He's white, so we just gotta like fuck all this being human and seeing like this dude. He lost like a father lost his kid and brother held his fucking twin brother in his hand watching him die. Like,
it's crazy because
I don't know how you could just start making it to he was defending like be human for a moment. Like you could separate this race war shit for a minute and be like there's a dude was 17 years old, he lost his life, like
yeah,
and his brother's holding his brother dying in his arms, like that's kind of crazy. Like
it's interesting because I've heard this story before. I coached football when I was younger. I loved coaching middle school football, and I've seen some phenomenal players at that level. Young kids being very influential, being very impactful. Never forget this kid. This one kid, he went to the NFL pre-camps. And he had everything down to the T, everything. His footing, his perception of the field, his interactions with players. His dad brought him to every camp. But that one moment, that he had his moment where he felt he was basically a speed junkie. This kid was a speed junkie. And his dad wasn't with him. Mind you, he's not really even in high school like that. And he went out, and he's so used to being the man on the field, holding this impression that everyone's like, "Oh, this kid's so amazing." Kid turned around and killed himself because it was so much pressure, and he killed himself driving someone's car, and he didn't even have a license. Great kid. Shout out to him and his pops, but it's very impactful when we got to start thinking about how it affects not just the person who got killed or unalived versus the person who was the aggressor.
At the end of the day, man, stop making this shit a race war, right? This is sad.
Everything's not a race war.
Everything's not a race war. Stop.
But like this,
get over yourself. I know some of y'all don't like white people, y'all don't like black people, whatever. But making a race war is pointless. Like somebody lost their
I agree on that because I
have
seen, and we all see it. We all see
father lost his son, a mom lost his son.
Exactly. We all see
brother lost a brother. Like
every single time a post is made, right? I can almost see every single one of you out there open up a post on IG or some other social media platform, and instead of you actually looking at them.
I mean, I used to be the same way too. I ain't gonna front, but now I'm like over that. Like,
yeah, but now the comments are more impressionable than the actual content in which we're watching and it's crazy.
And there's people out here making fake posts talking about this happened. He was bullied. They broke it. We don't know any of that. I feel like people just speculating, trying to justify a murder, and I feel like that's not cool.
I love it. That's definitely a good perspective on that. Moving right ahead though, we're talking about the impact that people have. Let's talk about I Show Speed, the kid, the side quest king. This kid's life is full of side quests. I feel like I was 10 years too late. The kid's amazing. He's got a great
people
energy.
Just love to watch you live.
He's got a great energy. He doesn't divulge up too much energy to stuff that.
It was kind of funny though. Like they had the Asian people giving them bananas or giving them
there was like multiple,
or they sent them chicken, or they were singing nigga. Like.
Multiple clips where he was just completely being defamated, right? But he was a boss about it. He handled it. He didn't let it affect him. But more importantly, he knew.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of us be too emotional. Yeah.
But you gotta understand though. Listen, I don't care what you say, but that whole trip was like a full-on commercial. Because everything that they wanted to show the world, they showed it through I Show Speed's platform. The car in the water, the flying car, all the robot, that basically broke down.
They're gone.
It's not that they're gone, because listen, I don't know if you guys watch some of these clips. Maybe it's not in your spectrum or your wheelhouse, but most of these actual devices that were made or used to showcase on iShowSpeed's platform weren't necessarily working to the best. The robot they put out there.
Oh yeah, he fell.
He fell. Like, we don't need more dancing robots. Just because the robot's capable of dancing, we've seen dancing robots for years now, right? Maybe just wired, but there's a lot.
I still feel like they got us in the. We're in a race and they like a couple miles ahead of us. But
so, as an American or a person who is completely open to tech and the growth of our country, I think we need to understand that we got a lot of great things here, right?
Yeah.
Shout outs to China and the tech they have, right? But we got a lot of great, innovative people that are here in the flesh, right? Yeah. Can't necessarily say I agree with what's going on right now in the world, but we're all going through it together in our own fashion, right? So when you see someone like iShowSpeed coming out with cars like the I forget the name of the car. It's like a Yin Yang 5000. This car can essentially change different angles. It can jump. It's got over 1,500 horsepower, and it's all under literally a 300K, right? But then we get into this thing where we say, why are those cars not here, right? That's another conversation to be had when we're talking about a lot of this stuff that's being affected right now. We also mentioned that, now it's going to be a radical change as far as, the sneakers, the clothing, the tech, food, and all the stuff that we can essentially say that are necessities day to day. So if we had to think about it, what do you think it's going to impact you the most as far as tariffs and such?
I mean, I bought a lot of camera equipment, probably that.
Yeah, you got tons of. All I see around here is tariffs. In the studio, all I see is
everything made in China.
Everything we use in the studio is all tariffs, right? And you essentially can say.
I feel like we just gonna wait it out. I mean, you can complain all you want.
You could complain all you want.
Nothing you can do about it. It is what it is.
You gotta destroy.
You can just complain, but there's nothing you can do about it. I ain't adding stress to my life that I have no control over.
Exactly. You kind of gotta, it's a tricky one because you got people saying we gotta have some faith, or more faith, right? Yeah. So let's kind of keep that in perspective. But another interesting topic. Shout out to my boy Mike Malone, right?
Oh yeah, this just happened today. The Denver coach.
Just happened.
Who the hell gets fired right before the playoffs? It's kind of crazy.
A week before the playoffs.
Something wild.
Yo, Malone. Listen, I'm not even a Denver fan, right? But shout out to what you've contributed to the whole spectrum of basketball, because you gave Denver what they have right now. They never had a chip prior to you, and they had one after. You created a great system. And more power to you in your future endeavors. But how do you feel about that, though?
I think it's wild. Like, they're fourth in the West.
Yeah.
Playoffs is like next week. Like, why fire him? And they fired the GM too.
Yeah, I saw that.
Like,
it was
right
definitely
after they fired him.
It was definitely some BTS stuff going on.
I mean, we'll find out later.
Like, who fires the GM and the coach? I mean, something was going on.
Yeah, like, you could have just waited for the offseason.
Yeah, you could have waited, exactly. Yeah. But it must have been more detrimental for them to say, hey, listen, we got to fire him now, because if we don't fire him now, basically what we're doing is kind of like enabling him to do whatever it is.
I think some people coming up with narratives that it was Joker, but I doubt it. Joker,
Yeah,
I think they like him, right?
I saw a picture today with Joker and fucking Luka over at the Lakers. How nuts would that be to see Joker at the Lakers, on the Lakers? Do we have a couple more prime years out of Joker, or is he like at his prime right now?
I mean, he's at his prime, but I think we do got some years left in him.
Interesting.
I don't know if that's gonna happen.
So,
But, you know, with the Lakers, you know, we get everybody, you know. Y'all make fun of us when we say we're going to get this person and that person, and it happens, you know. Sometimes it happens too late, or it happens just in time. Because we got Karmelo, like, 10 years after we wanted. We kept on saying we were going to get him, but hey.
So, I saw a segment the other day, and had to deal with Shaq in his prime versus Joker in his prime. I know what you're going to say already. Who do you think? Yeah, I knew you were going to say Shaq. But dominance-wise, was Shaq putting up 61?
League different.
Was Shaq putting up triple doubles?
Yo, man, who needs a triple-double when you breaking the rim, man? Who needs a triple-double when nobody, they put in 3, I mean, he can't shoot free throws.
But the real question was Shaq really, was Shaq doing that much?
We gotta wait. Shaq dominance got him 4 rings. Joker's got 1 ring. So we could do this prime.
Wait a minute. What do you mean Shaq's got him 4 rings? You're not talking about anybody else. Joker don't got another Kobe. Joker don't got Kobe.
He got
exactly. Murray. You compare Jamal Murray to fucking to Kobe.
You know the narrative. People act like Shaq did it by himself, but hey.
Shaq definitely didn't do it by himself. Shaq could not go to a team by himself and bring exactly. We saw him in Cleveland. He had fucking LeBron early in the early 80s.
Nah, LeBron. I mean that
was
old ass Shaq.
But that he still did go pretty far even with him.
I think the last time he actually did good. Old Shaq is when he was on the Suns. There was one point where he was putting numbers up on the Suns a little bit.
So right now, we got a MVP ladder list. Right? We talked
about this last week. I already told you Joker should get MVP, man.
I'm gonna tell you the top 10 people though, and I want to hear your opinion. So we got SGA at 1, Joker at 2, Giannis at 3, Jason Tatum at 4, Steph at 5. Donovan Mitchell at 6.
I mean, the Cavs is number.
LeBron at 7. Cade Cunningham at 8. Anthony Edwards at 9. And I'm sorry if I butcher your name in advance. Oh boy from Houston, kid is snapping. Sengun.
Oh, that European. I know
he's phenomenal. Yeah, he's got his.
I mean, they're to number 2. Like that's another surprise too. I mean. Udoka's a good coach. He went from Boston, he put Boston up there, then he went to Houston.
Yeah, created a city. He had a phenomenal system.
In the West, that's kind of wild.
Yeah, it's phenomenal.
They got a bunch of young talent.
Well, you got Jalen Green out there.
Yeah, he's still young. He's
jumping through, and then
I want to see what they're gonna do in the playoffs. But I feel like first round. They got no experience. They got what you call the point guard that won with Toronto. What's his name again?
Van Cleef.
Van Cleef. Yeah, I mean that's only.
Yo, he's got a fucking attitude on him.
He got some experience, but.
Yeah. No, he's our friend Van Cleef. He's all right. He's got a little chip on his shoulder.
Yeah, he went undrafted. That's crazy.
Yeah, he went undrafted, but he's still balling.
He balling.
I saw him. What was the other day? He hit the ref with the ball or something like that along those lines. Yeah, it was in Toronto. I don't know if they not reffing these games, but he was just dumbed out on one of these refs during the game. But it was interesting to see. Yeah, it was definitely crazy to see that. But moving right along, another crazy story was this PPP scam out of Minnesota. Shit was like out of a movie. $250 million, the biggest of its kind, right? I know this is getting a lot of traction now online because the dust and the smoke has cleared, and now it's giving us time to assess some of the financial records of some of these situations that has presented themselves in the last couple of years over the course of the pandemic. But I felt like this particular situation needed some attention. So $250 million, it was scammed from the government, and it made it seem like they were feeding kids, but in reality they were just getting it to them. How you feel about that?
I mean, if you give people opportunity, they're gonna take the opportunity. And I feel like with the PPP loans in 2020, they put out a lot of people would take out the opportunity to take some bread and pocket it.
How many people do you think actually use that PP money for the right purposes? If you had to give me a percentage, what percentage of people you think actually? Because I've been seeing it. It's like
25. 25 is my favorite number.
25% is the people that actually really do. I would say that sounds about right. Because there have been some crazy stories that like me outside of this whole like crazy, and it covers all spectrum of people. It's not just like one particular class of people. So I think that's pretty nuts.
Yeah, I feel like most people, like I said, people ain't shit. I think most people were using them shits to buy new cars, do this, that, and the third. Yeah.
Yeah. So eventually, hopefully we can find some clear, some clear perspective on this, because it's getting to the point where it seems like everybody's got some ties to like some scamming going on, and it's getting to the point where it's like, are there people really working anymore? Are there people with no ties to?
Everybody trying to get that money.
It's crazy. Like, we live in LA. There's a lot of young entrepreneurs. And there's also a lot of people capping. And, when I mean capping, there's a lot of people living outside of their means. A lot of people,
LA's IG, man. You know that.
LA, the IG land! Where everybody is getting to it. Look at his face.
Living in their rental cars.
Listen to this, man. Yo. But, one of the groups that we all probably have seen at some point in time, scouring the internet, No Jumper Podcast.
Oh, what about them being broke? You believe that?
Well, listen, a lot has happened in the last couple of weeks, right? And like
I feel like he just, it's like him doing the porn. He's just trying to draw people in. I don't think they're broke.
Clickbait.
Yeah, I don't think he's just trying to follow the Vlad thing, because he got a master class and all that stuff. Like, I think he's just trying to.
But does Adam really fucking have a master class?
I mean, Vlad has one talking about how to make YouTube videos and interviews, and he could pay to be a member, pay for interviews. I mean, pay for exclusive content and all that stuff.
Listen, no love lost to Adam, right? Listen, old boy's definitely put up some numbers, right?
I mean, he did during the pandemic.
Everyone put up numbers in the pandemic. Fucking Zoom and Peloton, their stocks were at an all-time high, but the way of life changed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Niggas ain't really want to sit down and watch fucking Jumper, No Jumper, and
I feel like he lost all his good talent, and he started just getting. I mean, some of them were game members, but he just started getting mad game members, and then just telling war stories. Now they're gone. Like, what are you gonna do now?
Like, literally, how many fucking war stories are we gonna fucking listen to, and have people questioning the validity of the people that comes on your show? You got people out here clickbaiting, fighting in your alleys. To me, it feels like you're really not like that, and it feels like you just put a bunch of people.
I mean, you know,
you put a bunch of people.
He had somebody have sex with his wife for money, so that means he'll do
again.
He's like a Kanye. He'll do anything for attention.
Listen, that's your speed, my guy. But listen, that's not my lane. And not saying I've always ridden the smoothest lane, but it's definitely not how I'm moving.
The party's over, I guess. Yeah.
The party is over. No more parties in LA, like my boy Yeezy said. No more parties. But let's talk about Young Thug and probation. But listen, it's not about Young Thug. I think I want to generalize this statement. Let's talk about the toxicity of the influx of kids, men, and people who go in and out of jail in these probationary situations. Like, you're telling me that a lot of these individuals who come through court, go to court, catch these cases, right? Turn around, get 10, 15 years of probation, and what? They want to go back to jail?
I mean, I feel like he got he's out, but he can't do shit. I don't know why he would come outside. I feel like he can't even, he breathe wrong, they're going to say he's violating his probation. Right?
But the crazy part about it is, you're right. He basically is.
Well, I mean, I feel like he's doing things. You know, they got a fucking microscope on him.
Yeah.
Why are you criticizing the DA or whatever you're criticizing this person and that person? Yo, fuck them and just live your life. Like, you don't have to comment on them. You don't have to do any of that. But you're just putting attention on yourself.
I agree.
Shout out to Jeffrey. You know, Jeffries are great.
Listen, Thug, listen. I know you get into it, but it's a different ballgame, and people feel like their voice or their freedom of speech shouldn't be.
For 20 years, that's kind of wild.
But 20 years, like 15, and this is beyond thug, right? And I don't want to try to generalize this community because I'm not trying to talk about his situation, but I'm just talking about all the other young men and women out there who go through the justice system and this door.
I feel like it's fucked up, but you do the crime and the consequences of doing crime.
Yeah, but you know what? There are people who have different agendas who kind of like who sometimes, and I'm not saying all the time, but sometimes mislabel some of these situations, and they have their own personal agendas for these people, and you got people who are sitting in jail for stuff that is just completely like not called for. Like there has to be a rehabilitation period that people take. Like putting someone in jail. Like think about this. Like he made a comment about someone, right, which wasn't called for. But you were willing to send that man back to jail for 10 to 15 years because of a comment? You were willing to change that dynamics.
I mean, but you know he has influence. So people feel like, they probably feel like, yo, we let you out and you still out here.
No, they didn't let him out. He fought for it. He spent his hard-earned money, his time, his sweat equity. He sat up in jail. Yeah. He kept himself, humble in some capacity, but they didn't hand him that, and that's just,
But then again, I feel like you can keep asking yourself. You don't got to tweet about.
Oh, okay, so let's talk about you're right.
I feel like you just know that they're after you. Like don't give them a reason.
Yeah, exactly. Your life has changed.
Yeah, don't give them. It's whack. I'm not gonna say I agree with it.
It was like a Meek Mill situation.
Don't give them a reason.
It was a Meek Mill cinch. You put yourself back into that situation. Yeah. They're gonna find a reason to put you back into it, right? And it's like
the Ja Morant. You get caught with guns. You do all this. They're not gonna give you the same leeway as these other players that do the gun singles because you were off the court doing this shit. So they're not gonna look at you. You're scrutinized now. It is what it is. So you're gonna keep crying like, oh, how come he could do it or he could do it? Yeah. You're not them. You're in that different. You fucked up basically.
I hear you.
Same thing like Draymond. Draymond can just do a hard foul. They're gonna look at it different because of his past.
Yeah. But I think that still definitely plays into some level of freedom of speech. But
what do you feel about that Ja Morant? Do you think it's cool that they're finding him and everything? I feel like Adam Silver, man, these players run you, bro. Like,
so
if David Stern was here, this shit would not be happening. These players run you, like they could do whatever they want.
So
like it's crazy.
I must say this.
Fucking alien Adam Silver.
The pointing gesture that Ja Morant did to the bench or to whatchamacallit wasn't a normal you didn't hit him like this. You were like leaning in with the shoulder stock, right? And again,
I don't think they even care about it. I think it's because of his past.
Yes, of course, definitely.
You're doing all this. You're on IG with guns. Like you understand, you can't stop being a YN. You're making millions of fucking dollars. Stop.
But they did an so someone did a post of all the people who made that similar gesture, right? And none of them got fined, right? But he did.
We already know that's why, but
after he got fined, all of them all of a sudden have been retracting their, like, you literally see them. They're like intimidated and celebrate now. Like some of these kids are like, they shoot and that's it. Like,
I mean, Karmelo used to do this. Well, he used to do this.
He used to do this. He used to do this fucking thing, Yeah. That was cool. That was cool. It was very, there was nothing that you could take from that gesture, so it wasn't like.
Yo, these people gotta understand, NBA is a product. They're trying to sell it to people. Yeah. All right? They're not selling it to your hoodlum friends. They're not selling it to all these. They're selling it to America.
Yeah.
Families. They don't want their athletes to be throwing up gun signs, throwing up gang signs. It doesn't look good for the league.
No, it doesn't.
They're trying to sell a product. I don't know why I can't understand that. They're not trying to hurt your feelings or anything, but they're trying to sell a product, and then that's just not profitable for the masses. For a certain group, they love to see the gun singles, all that. But for the masses, no.
Yes. Yeah. I 100% agree with what you're saying. Yeah. There's definitely things that you cannot be doing out on the court. Even sometimes the entertainment or the guests on the court on the sideline, that's another conversation. Can be kind of distracting, right? You got people out there like, again, no love lost, big shout out to you and your team, Boozy. I be seeing them out there dancing on the sideline more than the mascot. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a reason there's a mascot, but you don't need to be trying to outdance the mascot, right?
Because having a good time.
You essentially becoming a brand ambassador for free, Ain't no one dropping no checks.
Yo, who's damn name for the Knicks? The number one fan. I be seeing that Brooklyn games. Why he at Brooklyn? Oh, that whole thing that happened with Doman.
Yeah, of course. That's why Spike's at Brooklyn games now because they
I know he don't want to be at no damn Brooklyn.
They basically
games.
shout out.
It's like, yo, he left and the Knicks started doing good. Ain't that some shit? You think he was a bad luck? Yeah.
Sometimes it's a distraction because you got like.
Man, he left. The Knicks is good now. They've been good for the last few seasons.
Well, no.
He hasn't been there.
Actually,
I'm their top seed.
Listen,
I'm
a Knicks fan, right? And I understand it's hard being a Knicks fan when some shit.
No, they've been doing good. I mean, they look like they could. I mean, they're not going to win, but they look like they could.
They're doing better.
They have a chance.
Apparently, OG is out there with Sonny Lee.
Oh, he dropped like 36 the other day.
Yeah,
right?
he was out there. You know, he had that pink, that horsepower. He was out there balling because he wanted to show up and show out. You know, he brought his name out to the game. I love it. But moving right ahead. This is part 2 or an update to a conversation we had last week.
Oh wait, let me
play that for a little bit because I felt like there was
is not crunchy.
I feel like there was a little bit of antagonizing and
there's an actually easy way.
No. Oh no, wait, let me go back to what
Say hey,
she kind of look like Edward the baby.
So let this count as a wellness check and the dead of fake news. I get so many messages from you girls that are like, Aisha, we're just making sure your mental health is okay because of all of the nasty comments. And it's like, guys, I don't pay attention to it.
I didn't.
What was that? I don't even see the video where she was talking shit about whatever, but it's kind of crazy. She's like talking shit about people talking about Debbie. I'm like, you're a gold digger. Like, stop trying to act like you're not. Like, you're picking and choosing who you're gonna have kids with.
So
and now you're shitting on other women talking about, oh, it's not my fault. You picked these drug dealers and all this. I'm gonna find that clip like to play.
So basically, what she said was, even though she's doing what she's doing, right, she still has a method to her madness, right? Essentially saying that people make choices, whether they're good or bad, and in the longevity of the situation, whether it's an impulsive decision or a thought-out decision, did you make the right one? And she essentially chose to get impregnated or manipulate.
It's not my fault you guys choose broke baby daddies and this, that, and third.
Yeah.
Like, and the whole time she's trying to tell you she's not a gold digger by telling you she's a gold digger.
Yeah.
If you're telling people it's not my fault, you choose these broke baby fathers and I don't.
Yeah.
So you're saying you're a gold digger at the end of the day.
Yeah.
I mean, yo, get it how you live. I don't care. Do whatever you want to do. But I feel like you can't be out there scolding everybody talking about or saying you're not a gold digger, you're not this and the third when you're explaining that you're a gold digger at the same time as saying you're not.
So how do you explain to a judge that you need more than $5,000 a month as a BM for somebody? Because there are certain things outside of medical expenses and stuff like that that one needs to take.
She's beautiful though, but that will come with the game. She's beautiful. I guess she has that entitlement. Like, I'm bad. Like, so I deserve to have a rich baby father and this, that, and third. And
listen, she picked you.
She got that voice though. She got the bimbo voice.
Listen,
like, yeah.
So choose your vice, right? And
that's why I'm like, you can't get mad at it. Like I said, we got these idiots, these dudes like Anthony Edwards. Like, you could tell, like,
listen, you can't speak you're speaking from a position of looking from the outside in versus the inside out, right? Because there are a lot of people who talk that shit, right?
But look, she already has the past. She has another baby father.
I get what you're saying. We're not talking about the baby father. Like, she knew what she was doing. There's no
but Anthony Edwards was 23. He's young, so I can't even. I feel like I'm wrong.
There's the Anthony Edwards. There's the fucking
dude that was on the dude's on Dallas now.
The dude's on Boston. Jaylen Brown, he was messing with Bernice Burgos for a little bit.
Yeah.
Then
we can look at Zion.
PJ Washington on Dallas.
Yeah.
Zion with fucking Mariah. It's crazy, but I think there is a different perspective.
But I guess that's a lot of dudes. That's our weakness, women sometimes. You know, women.
No. So I think what happens here is there's a lane for everyone, right?
Yeah.
And there are men who do the same thing that those women do, right?
Yeah.
But we as men give it a different perspective on these things because we look at it as being weak from their ball court, and then they're looking at us being weak when we do it, right? Yeah. But the reality of it is that people are doing it. Robert De Niro, Al Pacino's got a kid that's fucking a couple years old, and he's knocking on 80 something, right?
Yeah. His wife like 20. Look at Belichick. Belichick's girlfriend like 20 something.
He's got a girlfriend that's 20 something. Was working in UNC's fucking office, right? We can't really say.
But this is kind of different. She's old.
She's old.
She's not the money.
But essentially, we know what's happening.
Off the young
we all know what's happening.
We forgot about Jalen
Green, fucking Drea, right? Yeah, this shit happens, right? Yeah. It happens, right? But the reality of it is...
That comes with the money.
It comes with the money. Yeah. It comes with the territory. And it's up to you as individual parties to handle it accordingly, right? Yeah. So that's where we can stand at. You know, you just gotta...
But she's beautiful, though. I ain't gonna front. She's beautiful. The Aisha Howard chick, she's beautiful.
One of these new fads that have been coming on for not even the last couple of years, are these specials or projects about people who have been in the industry, who've essentially seen their demise. The people seeking out kids, the ones who have taken advantage of people on a sexual level. Then you got people who have mentally controlled people for some time and used them as a form of soliciting. So
I know they're gonna make me start, but I feel like it's kind of hard to look at it when it's with a celebrity. I feel like because we know people that say they will do anything to be around a celebrity. They'll do this, they'll do that.
Yeah.
Like you'll know girls. I'm like, if Chris Brown's in the room, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Then when I'm hearing the story of he abused me, it's kind of hard for me to believe. I don't believe in that trust all women say. Women lie just like men lie, and I feel like when it comes to celebrities, it's kind of hard for me to say a celebrity is abusing or they're abusing their power, but I feel like the people are willfully doing it.
Yeah.
And now like they could use it against them to get some money. Now they're just gonna use it and say like, oh, he touched me the wrong way, or he did this, he did that, just because they could get money now. And that star is not in the limelight they were before.
Yeah.
So now it's like the R. Kelly thing. Like, yeah, we knew R. Kelly was doing this since we was forever. Like, we seen the tape I seen the tape when I was 14.
Yeah.
But R. Kelly was hot at that time. So now everybody was looking the other way. And now when R. Kelly's not the man he was before, like he's not number one artist, now it's like, oh my God, it's wrong. But we knew he'd been doing this.
Yeah.
But it's like favoritism. Like, we like him, so we're gonna look the other way. Like, we've been hearing these Diddy rumors forever, and then now it's like, all right, now he's the media and everything brought him down. Now we could talk shit and say, oh, this, that, and that, when we've been knew this stuff was happening.
So let me ask you a question: is there anyone in that position or that position of power that you haven't heard speculative stories about? Everyone behind every great enterprise.
Yeah, they be trying to put Hove in it.
They're
trying to put.
There are things called smear campaigns, ladies and gentlemen.
People do it.
And AI has made that even easier to do now. Because
there's some people that believe AI. Like, they'll watch a video. Remember, like, with the LA fires, people were calling me like, yo, look, LA's burning down. I'm like,
absolutely.
No, it's not all of LA. Bro.
It's to the point where now you don't need to actually show video footage. There's just ways of influencing masses.
People don't care about sources no more.
People don't even care about the sources.
They read the story like, oh, it sounds right.
Exactly. They don't even care about the sources. So you got to start. And it's weird because now people understand that people do the legwork as far as finding the sources. So they create these sources that run parallel to being real or being valid, but they're not. They're just worded or they're clickbait. So it's just crazy to think about how Hollywood has a chokehold on the narrative of a lot of these situations, all the way from the kids to the parents to the to the people that created the production team. There's a lot that goes on that that affects people in Hollywood for periods of time, and I think that we kind of overlook that. Meanwhile we're sitting at staring at these screens like, oh my God, I love this, I love that, I love this, I love that. All that. This keeps me sedated mentally by staring at these screens, but a lot of these people are going through stuff that we don't care about. We just want to be entertained, right?
Yeah.
So
not entertained, like you be saying.
Exactly. Those hours just is whatever it takes. No one cares about the truth when the lie is more entertaining.
Yep.
But that's Hollywood for you, right? Awesome. I like it. One of these amazing topics that I definitely want to discuss, and literally no pun intended, this is a throwback. Literally a throwback. There's this company that's actually bringing extinct animals back to life.
I actually have the video too.
It's crazy.
We turn now to that remarkable scientific breakthrough. 13,000 years after the last dire wolf walked the earth, scientists say they've now brought them back. Here's our chief national correspondent back up and with the video tonight.
Tonight, a howl 13,000 years in the making. In a first for science, biotech company Colossal Biosciences says it brought the extinct direwolf back to life, a species that hasn't walked the earth since the Stone Age.
The direwolf is the first de-extinct species.
Well known from HBO's hit show Game of Thrones, ABC News given exclusive access into Colossal's lab in Dallas, where scientists are using genes from gray wolves to create dire wolves.
We've taken a gray wolf genome, a gray wolf cell, which is already genetically 99.5% identical to dire wolves, and we've edited those cells at multiple places in its DNA sequence to contain the dire wolf version of the DNA. That animal looks like a dire wolf, it will behave like a dire wolf, and it is a dire wolf.
Now, 7 months old, dire wolves Romulus and Remus eating well and getting bigger every day.
And David, the company tells us they're not stopping there. They plan to have woolly mammoths roaming the earth again by 2028. But critics argue that this de-extinction could harm fragile ecosystems. David, the images are really something, Matt. Thank you. We turn now.
So what do you think about that?
That's fucking wild. I hope they bring back the Tasmanian tiger.
So,
but that's kind of crazy. Like, what's the side effects? Like, what's gonna happen?
Well, so I want to know why. What is it? What are you're using it obviously for?
Everybody want to be God, man. They're gonna play God. They're gonna do God shit. Like,
so it's funny. Technically, my sister-in-law actually is working on this, and she's part of what GHR is part of one of the companies is doing this. Yeah. And to know that they're bringing back animals is like mind blowing, right? Yeah. Think about bringing a woolly mammoth back. What? So they obviously brought back some of these animals.
Like, I want to know what they're gonna put them in the wild. What they're gonna do? Have them in the zoo? Like,
I would say, so they brought it back because they want natural predators out in the wild, right? Because it helps certain things, certain.
I feel like you're gonna try to solve a problem and make a bigger problem.
Well, that's how Jurassic Park came about. Right?
like why? Like why? What's the point? Like,
well, listen, I think it's first of all
I tell you, people want to play God. Like, it's crazy.
So what about all the people out in fucking Arizona that are in fucking containers waiting to be brought back to life when we figure out the technology?
Oh, yeah, like Walt Disney, huh?
Like, bro, there's people out there waiting to be brought back to life. And would you want to come back as the latest form of you? So let's say you pass or you move on at the age of 65, 70, right? Now you're in this container for the next 40 years. Someone brings you back to life. You're probably going to yawn when you first get out of that tank, like you are right now, right? But do you want to come back 65 or you want to come back, what age? Like, why do you want to come back at that age?
I mean, you got a choice. Isn't it when they froze you?
Yeah, so you essentially, you donate your body. You got to pay a certain amount of money. So whenever you unalive, or
people got too much money, bro. That's what it means, man. I'm dead.
But would you do that if you had the ability to do so?
For what?
Would you want to come back?
No, I don't know, man. I feel like it's pointless. My friends are gone. The people I know is gone. It's a whole different world.
I think it's a sense of comfort for some people's brains, right?
I mean, I guess it's cool for that current generation, so they're gonna be like, oh, this is like, oh, I'm teach people some new things, this, that, and third, but I don't get the point of me living for that long. Or, I mean, not living for that long, but coming back.
Coming back after like 40.
Yeah, 40 years for
no,
what?
But technology, so from what they said.
I mean, it's like you're going to be in a foreign world. Like, you're going to be like, what the.
It's going to be nuts.
It's going to be nuts. Like, yeah.
You coming back.
You went when they had like fucking state, like, they had a model Ford 1, whatever that shit was. Now you're seeing these fucking.
Model Z's.
all these crazy different cars. Like, it'll be a crazy world. Like.
Yeah, and it'll be nuts coming back after all that time, expecting. Like, I think, honestly, people are so, like, nowadays people are just, like, to the point where there needs to be a mental comforting note for them. Like, if you tell someone that they're coming back in 20 years, it almost gives them a sense of, like, comfort knowing they're coming back. So they die in peace, right? Or they pass away in peace knowing that there's a possibility of them coming back. Oh, so we were just kind of finishing up talking about being kept in a container, spending $1 million being kept in a container, and coming back 30 years now, how it would be a completely different day and age. So that alone is just crazy. To think
I wouldn't want to be that frozen. I think it's pointless. Like I said, like why would I want to come back? I feel like it's good for that current generation, so you could talk to somebody that was actually there and could tell about certain times or whatever. But like, what's Walt Disney gonna do? He's gonna come back and see Disney's some crazy different company now, and what is it gonna go back to him?
Wait, is Walt Disney really fucking frozen?
I think he's still frozen. Yeah.
Yo, that's nuts.
I think he is still frozen.
Oh my god, that's fucking nuts.
Let me look that up. I think he's still frozen. Like, it'll be crazy to see, like, damn, like, look at the company I built, the cartoon out there, like.
To see how far Disney has come along, see what I built, you know.
I don't know if that's true. Is he really?
I wouldn't doubt it, but he definitely.
I don't know if that's true or not. Like, this thing's a myth.
But you know.
I mean, I heard that for years that he was frozen. They froze him. Like that reminds me like Futurama. Remember Futurama, the TV show? Like,
yeah. Like, how do you think about that? Like a company like that, how do they stay in business for so long? Like, how do they prevent from going bankrupt? How do they prevent anything happening to those bodies? Like, because the bodies are frozen, right? They're just temples at that point in time, right?
I don't know. I feel like that's his point. That's when you have a lot of money and you're just spending it on pointless shit. Like, why?
Well, what are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do with it when you're getting to that age? Like.
I mean, leave it to the family, I guess. If you have one.
You want to give it to your family, obviously, but you know, like, what do you do when you get to a certain amount of money? Like,
help people. I don't think I want all that money. Like, what am I gonna do with all that?
I would definitely do. I mean, beyond a philanthropist, that would be my literally 9 to 5 for 6 months out of the year, is going around fucking finding ways.
Finding some way to help people, right?
Yeah, exactly. But let's kind of wrap this up. We're talking about our last. Actually, no, let's talk about this real quick. We talked about it briefly. How years later, a lot of these sexual assault cases that are coming back to haunt some of these moguls, some of these artists. Outside of Diddy, you got Russell Brand. You got the two.
I feel like they want Russell Brand. He's been going to the side that the media doesn't like. The media, like, he's been going far right, I guess, a lot.
Yeah.
And I feel like now they just targeting him. All right.
Yeah, he's been.
You're getting too big now, and you're not with the agenda, so we're gonna attack you. I mean, what is he doing for people? He only has like a YouTube show or something like that.
Yeah, he kind of, believe it or not, he had the same kind of trajectory as Leah Remini. Remember Leah Remini, the girl from Kings of Queen? She was basically going against Scientology. She came out with the whole show against Scientology.
Oh, I just see her in a while.
Yeah, but she was doing the same thing. So she had long running shows. Then she went far right, and then all of a sudden, she started getting attacked, right? And then what happened was, she basically talked about why this all started happening. She ended up getting a show, basically anti-Scientology, because there are people out there who don't like Scientology. Nothing against you and your
beliefs,
your moment, whatever you guys want to address it as. But again, It just seems like a pattern to you seeing when people are start going right. And again, I don't want to.
Yeah, especially when you're in Hollywood. Hollywood's just known to being thinking a certain way.
Exactly. And
if you start drifting away, they're gonna make sure they get you back in line or
it kind of feels like I've been seeing a lot of this. I know it sounds far fetched and beyond, but there are people out there who believe that Ye isn't as crazy as we would like to perceive him as. So.
Oh, fucking Ye! You see his I feel like he got his new well, he said he was about to drop an album, World War III.
But let's not. I do.
You heard that Bianca? Did you hear Bianca?
I did hear, but we're not gonna.
That's so fucking terrible.
We're not gonna add to that because we want him to kind of find some traction in what he's doing. Because,
man, Ye's just mad. He's just talking to whoever's gonna listen right now. And I love Ye. Yeah. But you gotta call a spade a spade. That man is just doing and saying anything to get some type of traction.
We all want to believe there's some underlying motive there. Let's let him find his traction because that's what he we've always come to believe that there's a method to his madness or it's organized confusion.
I mean, I think it's over. I think he's out his prime. I think doesn't matter. He's still a genius, but it's over.
It definitely does take.
It just happens to everybody. There's a beginning and the end, and I think he's at the end.
When do you think about Cassie testifying on her own behalf in her own name?
I mean, they said that she was going to do that though. I mean, there was a rumor that they said, but now it's fact.
But as a defendant, right, who you were once involved with.
I feel like she's making them, like, I'm teaching you a lesson. You should have gave me that bread when I asked for it. You made me go through all that, now I'm going to make sure I bury you. I don't think Cassie was in it, she was in it. Now she's not in it no more.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of gaps of time where it's unexplainable. Like, yeah, you were with this man.
Like, I'm not defending Diddy, whatever, but it's just like
I'm not defending.
She was in it. Like,
no
she
one
was
in
enjoying it.
Other
she
than
was
my
enjoying
own.
the fruits of her labor from being with him, and then now it's like years later, and then now she just wants to. I feel like she wanted to make him pay. She could have made him pay a long time ago. I feel like I don't know. We can talk about that liquor company, whatever. I don't know if they're part of it.
But there was
it's starting to feel like it is because like every time they find out these court cases bullshit, now they have a whole nother
case.
There's another case. Then there's another case. Then there's a cameraman. Then there's this. Like it's like.
And again, like we mentioned earlier, it doesn't just.
So that's the end. I feel like all these moguls, all these people that are up there, they're gonna abuse their power. It's hard for humans not to abuse their power.
Yeah, that's essentially.
So I feel like if you're gonna go after one, you might as well go after all of them then, because I bet you it's gonna be everyone, even the ones that you laugh and love. They probably did some fucked up shit because they had the money and the power to do it.
Yeah, it's definitely getting very dicey as far as who you want to believe or how it's addressed, and the fact of the matter that that he has to deal with that, right? There's obviously a more powerful play here. There's a more powerful play here, and we essentially need to see how it plays out when it comes to court, because how does one man have a RICO charge? It's crazy.
It's wild.
Crazy. Nobody else but him, right? But another topic before we get out of here, and shout out to YouTube because you allow us, so many people on a platform to talk on. And there's ways to go about, obtaining that audience, but there was this young man who was out. I think he was in the store. He ran down on some older gentleman, and he said, "I noticed that you took the roof off the Maybach, right?"
Oh yeah, the Walmart.
He's in Walmart.
He's like, you think you crazy? I saw you crazy. That's what I'm dying.
And yeah, play that clip real quick.
When you have your mind. Wait up.
But there have been cases like this prior to this where YouTubers go to they test their boundaries. A couple years ago, some kid walked up to some person in the store, shot him because he asked him for his distance. Kid kept on playing. He said stop, and he gave him a friendly fire. Grazed him. Basically told the kid stop, shot him, and that was that. Basically trying to, everyone doesn't deal with the YouTube prank like they do, but This shit right here was funny as hell. This dude jumped on the hood of the car. He was like ready to take this dude's whole lineage off of the map just because the whole situation played out.
Nah, to all you prankers, man, everybody ain't got time for that, man. You gotta understand that you're gonna bump into some people that ain't got time for that. And people have been doing so much, so now they know when somebody comes up to them in Walmart acting a fool, it most likely is a fucking prank. And they're not. There's some people that are unhinged out here, and they're gonna jump on the hood of your car and follow you home, like.
Yo, but listen. Have fun, man. Why can't y'all just like people trying to add life to this situation, to add some color or animation to our life every day, because everyone we are.
I feel like it depends how you do it. Like what? Like Calvin Grind does it a certain way where
he walks up to people in
like
the
people
supermarket.
don't really.
But then if you want to go like Vitali and you want to,
Wait, did he just get locked up?
He got locked up in Bali or something like that. He's in Bali, and they're like it's crazy. Like you're egging on law enforcement in other countries. You're not even from America, but you out in Bali.
No, it wasn't Bali. It was Philippines, I think.
Philippines. I'm sorry, my bad. I'm not. So you're out in another country, egging on law enforcement, trying to pull pranks. Like again, like you said, everybody's not around for all that, but it's just interesting to see how much or certain people, like there was Dirty and Red, the kids who would be up at Home Depot smashing people with their shopping carts.
Anything for likes though, everybody gonna do.
There's ways to go about it, right? There's ways to go about it. We're not knocking anybody, but it's definitely. I always thought it was very entertaining. There's ways to do about it. There's there's cool ways to go about it, but then there's some ways that you just completely like being dickheads. Come on, like there's tons of room. I seen a dude. He was dressed up as a bush. People walk by, he scares them, and they get completely shell shocked because a bush turned into.
Let's play the video. Let's play the clip.
About the Maybach. You getting crazy? Huh? You know who you play with? No. Oh, I'm crazier than you. Oh, okay. Yeah. Yes, sir. Fucking crazy if you don't know. Yes, sir. I'm sorry. You're bullshit. Yeah. Yes, sir.
This guy is
sir.
done.
Shit, don't bring it to me. Yeah.
He chases him out the store, like.
Chases him out the fucking store.
Jumps on the hood, like, why are you doing pranks with your mom in the car waiting for you? Who does that?
His mom is in the car.
Don't kill the man. Get out. He's not trying to kill
Yo.
Yes.
He tell him to stop the fucking car, you jump on the hood of the car.
He's telling.
To talk about the Maybach.
That should have me dying.
Wow.
And this nigga, he's giving a damn cop fucking, he's fucking flirting with a cop when the cop stops him, like, oh, you look good today. That should have me dying.
Yeah.
The mom's like, what are you doing?
You gotta always take into consideration. There's ways to go about doing it. There's a lot of great successful YouTubers who are, and people that are not necessarily doing pranks, but allowing people to react to certain situations. And there's ways to go about it. But definitely, another great episode.
Show love regardless.
Show love regardless. We out.
We out. You talking about play ball?
No.